I think it's time I talk about the Samsung Galaxy S25 7 months later because it's held up really well. And I've been saying this throughout all of my videos of the Galaxy S25. If you want 85% of the Ultra, then you go with the Galaxy S25. Now here's the thing, 7 months we're getting closer to the release of the S26 series, which rumors are stating this S25 successor is going to be called the Galaxy S26 Pro. So it's like, should you wait for the Galaxy S26 Pro or still pick up the S25? And honestly, I'd say pick up the S25 because the rumors are showing that it's going to be another incremental upgrade. So starting things off with design, it's definitely compact and lighter than the Galaxy S25 Ultra. It's much easier to handle with one hand. Absolutely love it. The 6.2-inch flat display with slightly rounded edges makes it very comfortable to hold in the hand. I actually really like this display for some reason. Maybe it's just like the form factor of this phone, but it also has super thin bezels. The build quality is really premium. Now it's got an aluminum frame, and in the past 6-7 months, it has held up really well. Granted, I have been using a case with this phone, and I don't have any scratches on the front of the display either, so that's a huge plus. And I also really do like this blue color. I hope Samsung continues to just add these really cool and vibrant colors. The blue is my absolute favorite, but this phone still really looks modern and sleek, and I haven't gotten bored of this design. I know it's a minimal design and I know some people don't like it, but it just feels really premium. Minimal, clean, premium. I love it. Now, again, color options, they're clean, stylish, and I wish these options were available for the Ultra. Maybe one day they will, but as for right now, they are not. Overall, though, it's design we're used to. The only main difference is like these camera rings, which, whatever, it's not that crazy. But I think if you really want a compact and lighter phone that's close to flagship quality, you're going to go with the Galaxy S25. Now when we get to the software and the performance, it's essentially the same as the Galaxy S25 Ultra with the Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, 12 gigs of RAM. Performance is top tier. I haven't noticed any issues, no bugs, no hiccups, none of that stuff. And on top of that, I am running the One UI 8 beta, and it's been very smooth. Granted, like, why is it still the beta version? I don't know. Apparently the stable version is going to release soon, so we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer, but it feels really smooth. It's customizable, and it is just a reliable software device with One UI 7 and Android 16, and then you're getting those 7 years of software updates, which is a plus. Everyday tasks, for me at least, all these apps you see like YouTube Studio, YouTube Music, the YouTube Suite, browsing the web with Google Chrome, using Gmail, calling and texting here and there, and then using it for social media apps. They've been awesome. And playing games like Call of Duty Mobile and Clash of Clans is also really smooth. Now, it does get a tad bit warm, but that's to be expected. It's not going to really annoy you. It's not going to get in the way of you playing your game, so just throwing that out there. But it's going to get a tad bit warm, and I've noticed that with other devices too. It's perfectly fine. Now when you are playing games, it does get a tad bit warm, but that's to be expected. It's been happening with a bunch of my other phones, and it happens here on the S25, but it doesn't get to the point where you get annoyed or you have to stop playing the game and put the phone to cool down, unless you're playing it under direct sunlight. Then yeah, it makes sense. But when you're playing indoors and whatnot, you're not going to have any problems whatsoever. I think the software and the performance aspect of the Galaxy S25 is one of its stronger suits. Now, there's a bunch of Galaxy AI features. My favorite has become generative edit throughout all of Samsung's devices, and I still wouldn't buy this phone because of AI features, but it's getting there. It's definitely getting there. Now with the cameras, it's got the triple camera setup. Again, it's not going to be the 200 megapixel main. It's not going to be 100x zoom, but it's still got a reliable setup with a main sensor and ultra wide, as well as a telephoto. And the results are sharp, they're reliable, and they're balanced in really good lighting. Videos are also pretty decent. Again, you don't have as much features as you would if you had the Ultra, but again, I don't think anyone who's picking up this phone is looking for that. They just want a phone that's performing 85% of what the S25 Ultra is doing. So you get that with the camera setup here. Great all-around It's a great all-rounder camera, but it's not going to be meant for those camera pro users. Again, video recording is reliable, photos are reliable, low light photos are also bright and colorful, but it's not going to be for those pro users. If you want to compete with like the iPhone 16, then yeah, it's going to do a great job for social media and stuff. And if this is your phone, you want to start making content, then I think that applies for every phone nowadays. Like every phone nowadays is capable for you to, pick up the phone, take some photos or take some videos and start, making content on social media, whether, it be on like Instagram or TikTok, or whether you want to go on the second largest search engine, which is YouTube. And I highly recommend, if you're going to start making content, go on YouTube and start making it there, because long term it's going to be great for you. But anyway, let's move on to the battery life. So more than half a year later, how has this 4,000 milliamp hour battery held up? It's been all right. It definitely has not been the best. It's been okay, and there has been a couple days where I have needed to charge it for a second time, or for at least once during the day. So like, I'll take my phone out at like 7 a.m. and by 2-3 p.m. I may need to charge it. And this doesn't happen all the time, but if I'm on a heavy day of usage, then yes, I do need to charge it at least once until I go to bed. And it wasn't like that first day, but recently it has come to that point where like it doesn't last me all day, especially if I'm using it the entire day. And for the work I do, it only does make sense. However, if you are not like me and you don't use your phone consistently, you're not going to have an issue with this battery. Yes, it seems like it's on the smaller side when you see phones with like this size too releasing with 4,500, 5,000, 5,500 milliamp hour batteries. This does seem on the smaller side, but hear me out, it's still pretty good. Now, it doesn't have the faster 45 watt charging, which is a bummer, but it still has wireless and reverse wireless charging, which is a good. But overall, it's all right. And I started to see some slight battery degradation. However, is that a reason that you should be swayed away from this phone? Most definitely not. If you go pick up a Galaxy S25 right now, you're probably not going to pick it up used. You're probably going to go to your local carrier store or Best Buy, whatever the case may be, or order from Samsung directly, and it's not going to be like my battery. It's never going to have been used, which means the battery health is going to be at 100%, and you probably won't have that same issue as me. Again, it's good, but on heavy days, I do have to charge it at least once before I finish the day. Now let's talk about the pricing. So this was priced at $799 when it did release back in February, but there's been so many deals throughout the past 6-7 months that I honestly don't pick it up at $799. In fact, at this point, I'd probably, wait a little bit longer unless, a spontaneous deal comes up, but wait until like the Black Friday deals and then pick this up when it's going to be like $150, $200 off. Then it's going to be worth it much more than if you were to pick it up right now for $799. Now, of course, if you're going through carrier deals, you probably will be paying this, monthly, or you have a trade-in, whatever the case may be. But don't pick Samsung devices up at retail price. Always because look, they're going to go on sale within like a matter of months. So I think it's a great idea to kind of just wait a little bit and wait until you come across a deal, which at the time of this recording, there's been some pretty decent deals, but I don't think those are going to last long. However, they'll probably come back, during the Black Friday period. So it still holds its value though. Like, this phone is still a really good phone. And I kind of want to wrap things up with my thoughts about this after, using it for 7 months. Definitely has seen a little bit of, use and degradation in the battery life. But this phone is still awesome because it delivers a flagship experience in a more compact and affordable package. Don't get me wrong, $800 at retail is still really expensive, but it's definitely cheaper than the Galaxy S25 Ultra. You get top tier performance, you get a great camera setup, you get a premium design, and you get long software support. Again, without having that bulk of the Ultra. If you don't need that massive screen, if you don't need the S Pen, if you don't need a 100x zoom, a 200 megapixel camera, the regular Galaxy S25 right here is the smarter buy for most of you. And in fact, I think this is a phone that everyone can use, but it's a matter of like, wants, and we tend to go for phones that we rather want than what we rather need. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to superman that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. Definitely be sure to check the links in the description down below, as well as my latest wallpaper pack is called Vintage Flourish. Links will be in the description down below. It goes a long way in helping out the channel. But that's been it from me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.